the comments from my respected elder brother, Kwankwaso, is the reason why we have 100 million Nigerians living in poverty. The reason why we have 18 million Nigerian children out of school. It is the reason why we have over 55% of Nigerians in under unemployment ladder. It's the reason why we have all the problems, why Nigeria is insecure. Because rather than vote for competence, we will choose to vote for incompetence based on a primitive consideration of ethnicity and religion. Tell me, today you can't travel from Abuja to Kaduna by air, by road, by train. Is it because somebody from the southeast is in charge? You can't travel from Abuja to Minna by road. Is it because somebody from the southeast is in charge? Yesterday we had an attack by bandits on the presidential convoy in Katsina. Is it because the president from southeast is in charge? Show me where you can buy food cheaper, you have uninterrupted electricity, or people are prospering in the north because the northerners are in power, in the southwest because they are in power, and in the southeast. What we've chosen to do in this country, we will consistently hire vehicle drivers to fly the Nigerian aeroplane instead of hiring qualified pilots. My commitment is, let us campaign and deal with the issue of the problems of the country. There's a lot of problems besieging this country. If you don't know today, this country will soon default in their debt service. Now we'll be rated junk status. That's what should be preoccupying us now. Our schools, universities are shut down, and we're talking about who will vote for. Let's deal with the issues. This election will not be based on my turn. It will not be based on ethnicity. It will not be based on religion. It will be based on the Nigerian agenda to save this Nigeria. Nigeria is in coma. And you need a specialist. And that is what I'm offering. To save his life or he will die. I'm appealing to people to vote to save Nigeria. And to save Nigeria is to hire the best. I don't want people to vote for me because I'm from the southeast. I don't want people to vote for me because I'm from south-south, or I'm from southwest, or northwest, or northeast, or north central. I want them to vote for P2B because he's a Nigerian who is competent to start pulling Nigeria out of the mess it is today. Often at times we tend to neglect those on the lower ladder. They might be the solution. They might be the solution. And those comments are comments that should not be on the table today because we have a problem. My candidacy is actually meant to solve those problems, to stop referring those who are higher ladder, because, okay, those who are higher ladder have brought us where we are. Maybe we need those on the lower ladder to be able to deal with it. And that's what, even his comment, let me take about Alhaji Babadima's comment, which you said. He said, I am competent to be the vice president because of my knowledge of the economy. Let me tell you, Nigerian problem is the economy. So why do you want somebody who has knowledge of what the problem is to be vice? That is what I'm saying. You want to use the people who should be on reserve bench to start the match when, no. He mentioned that I have the knowledge. The Nigerian problem is the economy. It is the economy because people don't have job, because people don't have means of livelihood, you push them into criminality, into agitation, into all sorts of problems we're facing today. And that is I'm saying? That I have the knowledge to start pulling these people out of poverty. I will start dealing with cutting costs in order to be able to pull Nigerians out of poverty, to be able to reduce. Go and look at it. So it is actually what is telling you what Buba Galadima said. I would say is Peter Obi is qualified to be vice president. Everybody have said it, not just Buba Galadima. You've heard other people like Chief Servant in Niger said, everybody said he's competent. But what is the problem of Nigeria? Economic problem.
So I do also have to raise comments made by Alhaji Mahdi Shehu, chairman of the Dialogue Group, on another show on the Arise News Network, where he said that during your time as governor of Anambra, you wanted northerners working in Anambra to wear a badge of identification. Frankly, that sounds like something out of Nazi Germany, where Jews had to wear a yellow badge, and that it was only until the intervention of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso that you then backed down from that idea. He also raised this issue that was trending on social media, an allegation that your son was the person pictured who was dressed in Biafran attire standing on the Nigerian flag. I'd like you to address those two issues.
Well, I will even add that the mentioned issue of my sponsoring IPOB. Let me tell you, I've said it. One, go and check the records and check his facts. I've never been involved in sponsoring any agitation, be it IPOB or anyone. I've never. In 2017, which I'm sure you referred, I made a comment. I said, IPOB and all other agitations are as a result of leadership failure over the years that failed to address the critical areas of development. So it was the creation of these things, were a creation of government. And I can say today that if I'm in power, I would deal decisively with all agitations through dialogue and through proper leadership. And when I finish that, if there are remnants of criminality in it, I deal with it decisively. That's what is happening everywhere. I followed issue of agitations globally. I do things with studies, and it can be dealt with. On issue of badge and identification, it's a lie. It never happened. And let me tell you, throughout the time I was governor, Kwankwaso never visited me. I can't remember. In fact, I probably haven't met Kwankwaso until maybe, I don't know, there are people I met maybe after I became governor or not close to him. You know, it's somebody that I see as a senior brother, respect me, but he never visited me as a governor or intervened on anything. And to tell you why it's a lie, all the commissioners that served with me throughout the time I was in office are from the north. I never had the privilege of having any commissioner from southwest, south. They are all from the north. Can show you 6 of them. From John Haruna to Nazawa. Most of them, if I 2 of them are from Kanu. My ADC, Mohammed, is from Kanu. So who will I give the order? Will I give them an order to go and deal with their own people? No, every other person calls his brother, or his sister, or his mother. Listen, to be his ADC. My ADC is from Kanu. And we remain close to today. Very, very close. You can go and ask him. I'm not somebody who asks that. On the issue of my son, it is not my son. My son is a professional who is consumed by his... Yeah, let me tell you, I just came back from London. I can't even see my son. He's consumed by her work. He will tell me that, listen, Dad, I like, oh, how are you? How is politics? How is your campaign? I like what you're doing. To me, I can exchange my messages with my son. My son will tell you, listen, Dad, I don't have time for this. I did this, I did. I've stayed in a week in New York. I could not see my son because he was busy doing what he's doing. Okay. So he doesn't have time for that. That thing happened in Germany. My son doesn't live in Germany, he lives in the UK.
Okay.
And he's consumed by his work.
Okay.
And I want Alhaji, I can tell him, I'll bet any amount for anybody to prove or say that is my son. It's shorter. is this, so I want to assemble the type of team I had in Anambra State and I said to them from day one, if you agree with me in 3 meetings, you go. That means you don't have your own idea. I want those who can look at my face and say, Mr. President, you're wrong. And you're wrong. Because I don't know everything.
Okay, let's talk subsidies. In the last 10 years, subsidies has gone up over 40 billion. It's a sinking pipe. What would you do about subsidies? Would you remove subsidies? What's the definitive answer?
Well, thank you. I was going to mention that we have spent over $40 billion in subsidy. Rufai, our total education expenditure in the past 10 years, total education expenditure in the past, in fact, 12 years, is about 8 trillion. So in 10 years, about 8 trillion. 8 trillion is about 20, let me use 400. It's about $20 billion. Tell me, Rufai, which country of the world, the most two critical engine of development is health and education. And your expenditure in health and education in the past 10 years is about $20 billion. Go and check the records. And you spent 40 in subsidy.
$40 billion.
40 billion subsidy. Rufai, to even add, this is 50% of it. If we had spent the next 20 billion in power, we would have been generating and distributing today 20,000 megawatts of electricity.
We spent 16 billion or 16 trillion thereabout in the ambassador days. They keep using that 16 billion number in power.
For me,
yeah,
I don't want to deal with the issue of the past. That's what they said about adjustment. But I'm saying in the past 10 years, and I'm talking about 2010 or 2012 to 2022. Within this period, this is what we have spent in subsidy alone.
Yeah.
That means subsidy alone would have solved a lot of our issues in education, in health, and in power. If we have 20,000 megawatts of electricity today, I can assure you that we'll be growing at more than 4% and would have added over $100 billion in our GDP. So what it is that this is just subsidy. Within the same period, as you know, we've borrowed $90 billion. So subsidy of 40, you borrowed about $90 billion, which you're servicing. If you put the debt servicing, you could see a total mismanagement of resources that would have changed the entire north. That vast land would have been a huge farmland. Rufai, if you audit what we are importing and consuming, there's no way it will be this amount. And you have to convince people. Let me tell you why people are against removal of subsidy. People are against removal of anything because whenever it's been done, they did not see the benefit. We did privatization. We didn't see the benefit. What we did is that we privatized profits, socialized losses. We did everything we've done. We did other things here that have been done everywhere. If you say you're going to remove this, what are we getting here? The problem you have in Nigeria is that they've removed this. Nobody got anything here. So we are going to do it in such a way that it will be transparent. This is the amount of our importation. This is the amount we are going to spend. And if we reduce it or do this, this is what you're going to get. And you deliver that, people will believe you. I've been able to return schools in Anambra State or do things that when I was doing it, people say, no, you cannot do it. Have you go and watch what my former head of service wrote? Stinginess as a strategy of development. He showed how I cut the cost of everything and showed what I used it to do. You must not come and say, we're going to remove this. What are we going to get as a remove? Because of mistrust. Because the whole thing has been embedded in transaction and stealing of, so people don't want to hear it. But you cannot spend that amount on subsidy when your health, education, and pulling people out of poverty is suffering.
So you remove subsidy?
Well, like I said before, everything has to be, if this is going to happen, this is the result.
Would you remove subsidy?
We have to look at it critically.
Would you remove subsidy?
Remember what I said? Yes and no. We have to study. I will remove it, but I have to offer them what would be equivalent of what we are removing.
So your answer on subsidy is yes and no?
Yes.
And
yes.
No. Would you remove subsidy?
Yes, but because because I'm going to use the resources to do something that will benefit. But if I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to remove it.
Okay. You
must be able to offer something in replacement of what you're trying to do. I cannot spend $40 billion on subsidy and spend 50% of that in education and health. Even in security, where our security budget have not been up to that. Are you saying that subsidy is more important than security of life and property? These are things you must do. You must be able to say, if we keep this, we will not get this. If we keep this, we will not get this. But because of mistrust, I will say that subsidy is a scam. And I still maintain it. So we have to look at it. How much are we importing? Who is consuming it? Why are we going to keep this? And there's so many scams all over the place, including the cost of governance. We're going to look at it. It's not going to be a business as you am going. And that is why people are telling you, oh, it's good at the economy, it's not good at this, it's not that good, because they know that if I'm at the #1 position, I'll be able to say, no, you can't continue with this. So they want a situation where it will continue, but let Peter be here. If I'm qualified to be vice president, I'm qualified to be president.
Let's face it. The Tinubu administration and APC, they continue to implement policies that make life difficult for you and difficult for me. From the federal to the states to the local government, every single day, it is one policy or the other that is designed to make life more difficult for you and for me. They keep doing it. And we keep complaining. We keep ranting. But my question is, what will change? What can change? Will Tinubu suddenly become born again and turn over a new leaf, become a new creature, and start implementing policies that will make life easy for Nigerians just because Nigerians are complaining? Before you answer that question, remember, Tinubu himself has said, no matter how much you complain, no matter how much you protest, he will continue his policies. He said it with his own mouth. He said it about subsidy removal. He said it about electricity tariff. In fact, he said it that you have abused him on social media and he has left social media for you. Even though you and I know that is not true. His minions, his stooges, his rabble-rousers, they have taken over social media with propaganda. But he said he has left it. So do you think that honestly, the draconian policies of Tinubu and the APC, from federal to state and local government, do you think that our complaining as Nigerians will lead to any change from the Tinubu administration? Will things get better or will they continue to get worse? I don't know what your answer is, but I want to give you my opinion. From the things that Tinubu has said himself, and I was telling my neighbor yesterday, Tinubu is loyal to where he feels his support is from. Is his support from the Nigerian people, or his support is from the IMF and the World Bank? Now, that's even a general statement. Is his support from the colo cabal within the IMF and the World Bank? It doesn't matter how much we cry, how much we rant on social media. Tinubu leading the executives, the governors leading the executives, the local government chairman leading the executives at the federal, state, and local government level. Akpabio and Tajuddin Abbas leading the legislature at the federal level. The same thing with the legislature at the state and local government. These people will not change just because we complain. Tinubu has said he will leave, or he has left social media for us. The other day, Akpabio said, oh, that if you guys want to protest, you can go on and protest too, but that he will be at home eating rice and chicken. What does that tell you? They don't care about the sufferings you are going through. And don't expect that anything will change just because we complain. We have to take our destinies in our hands. And it is not a violent revolution that is required. You know why? Violent revolutions are an 18th century solution. And the oppressors of today, they have mastered the art and science and craft of violent revolution. And that is why before you know anything, once a protest starts, is either they unleash their propagandists on us to begin to, drive negative propaganda to distract and to divide us, so that instead of uniting to fight the horrible policies of the Tinubu administration, we are fighting amongst ourselves, Igbo versus Yoruba, Benin versus Igbo, and all the like, North versus South, Christians versus Muslims, and all of that. They unleash their propagandists, or they send the soldiers or the police to come and shoot at innocent protesters to disperse them, because these people have mastered the art of revolutions. So if we are going to be able to save Nigeria from the hands of these people, then we must apply a different approach. Check it. Who is it that said again that if you apply the same results and if you apply different methods and you apply the same methods and you are expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity? Let us not wait until we run mad. We cannot keep applying the same solutions and expect different results. We have to try a different result. Permit me to let you know, the only way to save Nigeria, the only way, is through free and fair elections. That's the only way. I know some of you argue that the problem of Nigeria is a new constitution. And I agree with you. But I want to announce to you that no matter what we do, protest or talk or rant, the people that are in charge now, particularly under Tinubu, under Akpabio, under the APC, they will do whatever they can to defend the constitution as it is. If you truly want a new constitution, what is the way forward? Is to engage to force free and fair elections that will ensure the retirement of all these politicians that are in power today. Until we retire them, you cannot get that new constitution. Some of you argue that the solution is to divide Nigeria. The politicians at the helm of affairs today will not divide Nigeria for you. How easy do you think it will be for even the Igbo governors, the Igbo senators, the Igbo House of Rep members to come together, reach a consensus, issue a communique and say that all of the Southeast legislators are signing a memorandum to secede? How easy do you think that will be? It should be easy, but I can tell you that it will be easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle than for the current Igbo leadership to do that kind of thing. They won't. So if you feel that division or secession is a solution, the current crop of leaders cannot give that to you. The only way you can get to divide Nigeria or to secede is to ensure that we have free and fair elections. Because that way, you bring in a new crop of leaders that will now decide and rearrange the constitution. They will re-agree on terms and conditions. And if there is equity, there will be no need to secede. So whether you think that we need a new constitution or that we need division or secession, the only way to achieving it is not to talk more to the same people that are pretending to be asleep. They will never wake up. It will just be like we are flogging a dead horse. It can never rise. The only way is free and fair elections. That's all. Some of you may argue again and say that, no, true federalism, devolution of power, state police, these are the things that we need. These are the solution. In fact, some of you can throw in there resource control or regional resource control. Let every state or region manage their resources. Yeah, fantastic idea. But one question, who will implement it? You know, it's easy for us to rant, and the people in government right now, are they moved by our ranting in any way? Are they? The only solution is free and fair elections. Whatever you think the solution to the problems of Nigeria is, let me know in the description. And let us reason together and see if you can get that solution through the current crop of leaders in the National Assembly or in the executives or even in the judiciary. We need free and fair elections. Now, how do we get free and fair elections? We were hoping that by now we would have had electoral reforms. Remember, what was the whole essence of pushing for electoral reforms? Is to guarantee free and fair elections. That's all. But how are we doing with the electoral reforms? Are we making any headway? The proposals that even INEC made to the National Assembly, is there real-time transmission of results in there? Real-time mandatory collation of results in there? No. So, is it likely we get the electoral reforms that we need? The answer is no. Now, if we don't get electoral reforms, like some people are suggesting, is the right thing to do simply to boycott the election of 2027? Would that not be giving voter apathy on a platter of gold to Tinubu and the APC? Is that not what will be happening? Is that what we want? Is voter apathy not one of the secret superpowers that the APC and Tinubu are looking for that will possibly help them rig the elections? If Nigerians come out in their millions, hundreds or tens of millions, 90 million of us, they say, that have registered, will it be easy for the APC or anybody to rig the elections in 2027? It will not be. Could this be the reason why they are struggling so hard to make sure that Nigerians give up? As a result, they are now pushing the propaganda that the 2027 election is already rigged or that the results are already written. And so some even activists are now saying, oh, if there's no electoral reforms, then there's no point participating in that election. Would that be a right approach? I don't think so. What then is the right approach? Project Ego. That's the right approach. Polling unit marshal, 600,000 Nigerians strong, and votewatch.pro. That is the combination that will really give Tinubu sleepless nights. That is the combination that will guarantee that the elections of 2027 is free, fair, and credible. Why? How? Because with these 600,000 polling unit marshals across all the 179,000 polling units in Nigeria. Think about it. If we get these 600,000 polling unit, Marshall, it's a question now, and they are dedicated and committed, and they get the results from the polling units like the law requires them or encourages them to do, and they take the pictures of the Form EC8A pasted on the walls in their polling unit, and they upload it to the website, the application, votewatch.pro. And the results are online, real time, even before they leave the polling unit to the Ward Collation Center. Do you think that INEC will still be able to rig the elections? This is the only way to guarantee free and fair election. PU Marshall, votewatch.pro. I urge you to join us to make this solution work. Nobody will talk about this solution because it is not a trending topic, but it is a solution that all Nigerians need to hear. So I will encourage you to join us. We need off social media campaign, awareness campaign. We need finance for it. We need people, volunteers for it. So the one that you can do, please do. If you can volunteer, join us in this network to create an awareness that will guarantee free and fair elections in 2027. If you cannot join physically, let your donation speak for you. This is the best way to contribute, to invest your money in a way that guarantees a country that works for your children and your children's children. Free and fair election is the only way forward. It doesn't matter how much we rant on social media. These, I don't want to call them devils, but somebody even argues that calling them devils will even still be putting it lightly. These people that have held Nigeria by the jugular, they won't let go of it unless we take a different approach. And that is the PU Marshall and Project Eagle, and votewatch.pro of Project Eagles. Guess what? There are two other solutions of Project Eagles that will keep Tinubu awake and will guarantee free and fair elections in 2027. I'll talk about them later. But for now, join us in the awareness campaign for Project Eagles. Yes. God bless you as you join.